When we hear the Gospel of St. Mark on this occasion, I'm not always very comfortable when it says, if you do the right thing, get close to Jesus, you're going to be able to pick up snakes, you're going to be able to fight with demons and stuff like that. I'm not sure that's what I want as my reward. But most scholars these days seem to feel that Mark's Gospel really ended on verse 8, and this goes on to verse 15. And probably those last verses might have been added by his school or his followers after he was gone. So the inspiration would be that great things are going to happen when we do the right thing and get close to the Lord. And the things they thought of as examples are not necessarily appealing to us. So I'm all comfortable when we read Luke and find out that, why are you standing here all the days looking up? Kind of get on with the Lord's business. I'm more comfortable with that. But at any rate, there are different ways that we're talking about how Jesus is really present in the world. Well, I still remember going down to Tribune Tower on occasion, and if I go by there, and I used to see there are different bricks protruding from that building. There's a brick from the Great Pyramids in Egypt. There's a brick from the Taj Mahal in India. And there's a brick from the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. And there's a brick from the Berlin Wall. And what the architect was trying to say is, look, this is only a building, but this building has the whole world present within it, trying to give us that idea. And so then we think about that with Jesus. How is Jesus still present in the world after Ascension? Is he present at all? And when we think about it, and theologians say that, well, wait a minute, he's still present in the world, but in a different way. So he's changed the way he's present in the world. For instance, now we don't hear his voice, we don't hear physically, we don't see his hands at work healing, and so on and so forth. So that physical body is not present, but he's present in his mystical body, which is the church, which is us. And in a sense, we are then to be his hands, we are to be his voice, we are to be his heart. And he does it through us. And of course, he's also promised he's going to send the Holy Spirit. And we're going to be then reminded by the Spirit how he's with us, and we never know. I think a couple of weeks ago, I used the example of where I thought the Spirit was speaking in my life when I got inspiration at the time of a possible suicide funeral. And I was thinking about that again this morning. That wasn't the only time. I still remember when I was living over there at Harlem and Toohey when it was Niles College Seminary. I remember one evening I was going to go to some gathering over near the lake. I started up Harlem Avenue, and then I'd go east when I got a little bit further north. But when I got up to Milwaukee, without even thinking, the car went into the left lane, and I thought I was daydreaming. I thought, well, I'll turn around after I make the turn onto Milwaukee some way. But I didn't. Then I thought, no, my very good friend Pat is in the hospital. And I know I was going to see her pretty soon, so maybe this is the time to do it. So I went out to the hospital, Holy Family, I think out northwest, and I walked into the room, and here was somebody I knew and really was very fond of. She was a mother of 5 kids. She and her husband were very good friends of mine. But I walked into the room, and Pat looked up, and she said, "Oh, I prayed that you would come." And I kind of go, oh, I didn't have a choice. The Holy Spirit was saying, I got to get on with the Lord's business here. And so I did. I stayed there, and both of us with tears, we formulated her funeral liturgy before I left there that night. And unfortunately, we used that liturgy only a few days later. So I'm very conscious of a number of times in my life when I just can't explain how things happen. But it's when really the Lord is acting through us. We become the hands, the voice, and the heart of Jesus in the things we do. And that's Ascension is a good time to remember that. Yeah, he left us physically, but it only changed the way in which he is present in the world. And hopefully, we continue that presence by the actions that we take. I'd like to close with a prayer that I hope sums up what I've been trying to say. God of mercy and love, look down upon your children who are gathered here about your Son's table. Give us a new mind to appreciate our calling, to be the new body by which your Son is present in our world. Give us a new heart to carry out our calling, to be the new voice, the new heart, and the new hands by which your Son acts in our world. Give us a new spirit to be what we are, the new body by which your Son speaks, loves, and reaches out to all his people in our times.